we all believe that some of the, even our currency and also some of the stable currencies in the world like dollars, pounds, euros, etc. are all completely sacrosanct and they are not devaluing, but that's not true, right? If you see, US alone has printed $7 trillion of their own currency in the last few years.
Okay.
And imagine what it would do to the value of the currency. That's why you see the inflation in these, even in the developed world. I have lived in like Toronto myself. Food prices have gone up by twice in the last couple of years. Real estate has hit through the roof. All of these countries are, even these currencies are depreciating in value significantly compared to the actual goods and services that one has to buy, right? So the concept of crypto kind of originated from this, right? Like, how do you create a hard asset? Nobody can increase the supply of Bitcoin by more than 21 million.
Okay.
So if you have a currency whose supply is fixed and nobody can increase it arbitrarily or randomly, then you know that, okay, this currency, this is a place where I can sort of put my money, or this is an asset where I can put my money and I can be. The awareness levels only in India are abysmally low compared to the rest of the world.
Okay.
If you see, more than 30-40% of the United States population actually holds cryptocurrencies. The awareness levels and actual adoption are significantly higher in South American countries and also in Middle Eastern countries, Russia, even China to an extent, like has a lot of population that has that own cryptocurrencies and blockchains. Historically, we've never had the reason to sort of just not hold INR and just hold cryptocurrencies. That is historically one of the reasons. The other thing is the policy environment in India is not very.
Today we have a very humble guest who is reshaping how the people around the world can earn via crypto. And he started off as a consultant in, I would say, Swiggy, and reshaping or scaling it inside out. And then he took a leap, which not everyone would dare to do, to enter in the world of cryptocurrency blockchain, where he has built, he's a co-founder, I would say founder as well as co-founder of Stader Labs and Kernel, where he has built this platform supporting blockchain networks, and more than like lakhs of people who are using it, and with the stakes of around 500 millions or more he has already built. Not only that, the company is known to be, raising the value of 12.4 million within a year of being founded, which is raising its value to around 500 millions. Hope it is the right info which I have got.
This was
So
a while
yeah,
ago.
sorry. So I have with me Mr. Amitej Gajjala from Bangalore. Thank you so much for giving your time for our podcast, What It Really Takes. And how are you, Amitej?
I am doing great. Thanks a lot, Karishma, for taking the time out and having me on your show. It's really excited to talk to you.
Yeah. So, Amitej, I would like to know, in fact, want to go to the back days of your journey. Would like to know, like, how it all started, as in your education. Where did you do your education in the first place, and how was your mindset back then in terms of you want to be a founder, or was it your dream already?
Got it.
Yeah.
So I come from Andhra Pradesh. So as I did my schooling there, and I moved to Hyderabad, did my +1, +2, and went to IIT Madras.
Okay.
Did my electrical engineering there. Growing up, obviously back in 2000s and late 1990s, everybody had this like mad rush to become engineers and then try to attempt the IITs. So I am a byproduct of that bandwagon, I would say. So got there, did my engineering, did not like engineering that much, so
Okay.
chose to sort of get into the business field, and that's why I went to this consulting firm called ZS Associates. Worked in Pune for about 2.5 years with them, and attempted CAT, got into Indian Institute of Management, Calcutta, completed that, and then got into the business field. Worked with ADKearney as a consultant for about 3 years. It's a
Okay.
management consulting firm. And then I moved to Swiggy, where I led strategy and transformation for about 2.5 years. While working at Swiggy, and even before working at Swiggy, that was the transformation phase in India where, especially in the 2012-13 era onwards, the real Web 2 startup boom started in India, right? Like you
Yeah.
have the Zomato, Swiggy, Flipkarts of the world who were like really growing and started capturing the Indian young engineer slash business people mind space. And yeah, I was really fascinated by how these companies were set up and started making big names in the Indian ecosystem. So that kind of inspired my thought process as well to kind of start something on my own
Okay.
that I can grow and build. At the same time, I wanted to also work in a industry that is like really kind of sunrise industry rather than attempting to build another e-commerce platform or build another convenience platform. My thought process was start something on my own, start something in an industry that was probably very young, but has the potential to kind of like become very very big in the future.
Okay.
So that's when that was the mind frame I was in while I was like towards the fag end of my career at Swiggy. So with that mindset, AI, crypto, and edtech were the industries that I was looking at.
Okay.
Crypto was fascinating because I mean, I realized that it had the potential to kind of re-architect the entire financial landscape of not just India, of the world. That's why I choose to sort of get into the space.
Okay. What is crypto? Like literally, I believe it might be a stupid question, but there's so many people who know, but they feel that it's complicated and, there might be security concerns or no, they have this traditional belief of investing their money or putting it into banks, XYZ. Then what exactly crypto is?
Yeah. So philosophically speaking, right? We all think that we have money. We have like when we earn money, we all think that that money is ours. That money is actually not ours. It's actually custodied by a financial institution like a bank, or if you own assets, it is actually custodied by financial custodians or governments,
Uh-huh.
right? We still live in a very secure, democratic country like India, where you don't overnight see government seizing properties. You don't overnight see banks defaulting on their debts, everything, right? And you also live in a country where the currency is also not getting devalued at 20-30% per annum, right? If we were, I mean, in general, like INR is depreciating that way compared to the real estate.
Yeah.
But overall, like if you see the CPI, core inflation, etc., is around hovering around 7-8% level, which is acceptable levels for a developing country or economy like India. But put yourself in the shoes of individuals or citizens living in countries like Turkey, South American countries like Venezuela, Argentina, Middle Eastern countries, African countries where governments are not stable, political climate is not stable, and their currencies are devaluing or depreciating by 50%
Oh
or
my God.
sometimes
Okay.
50% per year or sometimes 20% per month.
Yeah.
Would you hold your hard earned capital in those currencies? No, right?
Yeah.
So those people are the ones that primarily needed a source or needed a platform to kind of store their wealth,
Okay.
right? So that's where like crypto has found its like big use case
Uh-huh.
with the people in these countries. The second thing is we all believe that some of the even our currency and also some of the uh, stable currencies in the world like dollars, pounds, euros, etc., are all completely sacrosanct and they are not devaluing. But that's not true, right? If you see, US alone has printed $7 trillion of their own currency in the last few years.
Okay.
And imagine what it would do to the value of the currency. That's why you see the inflation in these, even in the developed world. I have lived in like Toronto myself. The food prices have gone up by twice in the last couple of years. Real estate has hit through the roof. So all of these countries are, even these currencies are depreciating in value significantly compared to the actual goods and services that one has to buy, right? So the the concept of crypto kind of originated from this, right? Like, how do you create a hard asset whose supply cannot be decided by a single government or an authority,
Okay.
whose supply is fixed, and that doesn't that also has the properties of a financial instrument potentially. That is the origin or story behind Bitcoin.
Okay.
So that's why if you examine Bitcoin, the number of Bitcoins, which is the supply of Bitcoin, cannot exceed 21 million.
Okay.
So come what may, nobody can increase the supply of Bitcoin by more than 21 million.
Okay.
So if you have a currency whose supply is fixed and nobody can increase it arbitrarily or randomly, then you know that, okay, this currency, this is a place where I can sort of put my money, or this is an asset where I can put my money, and I can be assured that
It won't
it
depreciate.
won't like potentially depreciate like the other currencies, right?
Got it.
That is one concept of, that is the king asset of crypto, which is Bitcoin. And the second philosophical thing that crypto brought is basically the first point that I made, right? We all believe that the money that we earned and that we put in the banks or financial institutions, we believe that that is our own money. But that's actually not your own money. It's actually with a financial institution, and they hold the authority to do whatever they want at the directive of the government or at the directive of somebody else.
Okay.
Right? So
Yeah.
that means you don't completely control that.
Okay. Yeah. That's there.
Cryptocurrencies or blockchains philosophically reverse that concept.
Okay.
They enable users, you and me, to actually hold the assets, and you own the destiny of that asset. Like, you actually really own that. It is like you don't depend on a financial institution to guarantee that you own this asset.
Okay.
Those are the two, for me at least, these are the two big uh, philosophical differences that crypto has brought to the monetary system.
Okay. Got it.
Right.
That's great.
I know that's a lot. Just to summarize,
Yeah.
one, all the currencies in the world can be abnormally inflated by the governments or by the financial institutions backing it. You need hard assets where the supply is fixed, or supply cannot be arbitrarily inflated by a financial institution.
Yes.
The second one is you need a technology where users can actually not only just earn the assets, but really own them. They control the destiny of the assets, and they're not dependent on a financial institution to guarantee that they own the asset.
Got it. And still, why there is not much awareness when it comes to it is in India, people are not using crypto, or right now I see it is evolving up to a certain level. And there are a lot of people who are investing into blockchain and, doing transfers and all those things. But it has not grown to a level where the awareness is there. Why there's this gap?
So the awareness levels only in India are abysmally low compared to the rest of the world.
Okay.
If you see, more than 30-40% of the United States population actually holds cryptocurrencies. The awareness levels and actual adoption are significantly higher in South American countries, and also in Middle Eastern countries, Russia, even China to an extent, like, has a lot of population that has that own cryptocurrencies and blockchains. The other thing about India is we are relatively a stable economy, right? Like, we are not though we are a developing country, we are not an economy where the currency is depreciating like cats and dogs, right? Our currency is relatively stable. We have a very, very strong monetary authority, which is RBI, which has stringent policies to kind of instill stability in the financial ecosystem in India. And also our banks and financial ecosystem is like very robust. So historically, we've never had the reason to sort of just not hold INR and just hold cryptocurrencies.
Got
That
it.
is historically one of the reasons. The other thing is the policy environment in India is not very conducive to cryptocurrencies.
Got it. Okay. And like with the growing time and with the uncertainties, I would say in India also, we can see the way right now we have the PM and the way it is leading. It's not going to be there forever. It's gonna change with time, maybe down the line after 4 5 years. Then what do you see the evolution in India when it comes to stability and when it comes to the usage of crypto?
I think the policy environment is growing much more friendlier than it used to be. I would say, and then there are like several companies who are actually working in the cryptocurrency space in India. We have multiple exchanges like CoinDCX,
Yeah.
CoinSwitch. There are like several regional exchanges as well. They were doing quite well back in 2021 before the government kind of like put in place slightly harsh taxation terms and a few other policies governing the cryptocurrencies. But I think the policy environment is changing a little towards a friendlier side, especially given the macro changes happening in the US government policy towards cryptocurrencies and also European policy towards cryptocurrencies. So I do see a positive outlook for cryptocurrencies in India for sure in the next 1 to 2 years. And that is when you will have a lot of young entrepreneurs, even existing corporates, embracing cryptocurrencies in India.
Okay. Got it. So consider I am a person and I have a liquid of around, consider CR in my bank account, and I want to invest in crypto and I want to know what are the benefits which I'll be getting, or how I am able to see that, I am in the safer hands. Then what are the different things and what is the process and why I should?
Okay, got it. Uh, I'm a founder, but so I don't typically give financial advice, but consider this as not financial advice, but in general, the first the first asset that anybody will start in cryptocurrencies is actually Bitcoin,
Okay.
which is kind of, if you take the entire universe of cryptocurrencies, that is the most, in terms of risk, that is the least risky asset. So the first place that you should start with is like buy a few Bitcoin. And then Ethereum is the second safe asset. So these are the two assets that typically for 6 months to 1 year, people who start investing in crypto, like I would say these are the two assets that people should invest and do a dollar cost averaging. Like
Okay.
every month, it's like an SIP, buy a little bit of this and just hold them. That
Okay.
is the advice that I give to people. And then in terms of portfolio allocation, if you zoom out and say you have a 10 CR portfolio across all of your financial and non-financial assets, uh, typically like big firms like BlackRock and some of these large US asset managers, they advise anywhere between 2 to 5% of the overall portfolio allocation to cryptocurrencies.
Yeah.
That is the typical benchmark we should follow.
Okay.
Because this is still a very nascent asset class and quite volatile. So one should be exercise caution before investing capital into this.
Got it. Got it. And what made you transition into crypto? As in, because when you were working back then in different companies, and then, you mentioned about you had this thought process, you want to start something of your own, and then into a market where it has a great potential. Uh, you already had an interest, or, how did the journey begin?
My journey began, like I mentioned, right? Like I wanted to start something on my own, like primarily inspired by all the startups and startup founders in India, specifically Harsha from Swiggy. And like towards the end of my career at Swiggy, I wanted to like very passionately felt about starting something on my own, but I obviously didn't have a solid idea to start. So went on a soul searching journey for 3 to 6 months where I kind of did a deep dive across cryptocurrencies, AI, and also edtech. And crypto seemed very fascinating to me because it was it's like it's like Web 2 on steroids.
Yeah.
You launch a company, grow the business, and then do an IPO in like 6 months. We did that in like 1 year.
Oh.
Because like it's free markets. It's completely free markets. Markets are international. Like firstly, the customer segment is international. There are no geographical boundaries. There are no KYCs in this market. So it's like it's like I mentioned, right? Like I think no other word kind of summarizes it than it's a Web 2 company on steroids.
Got it. Got it. Got
So
it.
so fast paced and volatile, and at the same time the expected returns are higher. So all of those kind of
Can you give me the comparison, like how expected returns are higher?
sorry,
Like what
expected returns for a startup founder in
Okay.
terms of ROI. I didn't mean the expected returns from investing.
Okay.
Expected returns, obviously, it's a factual information, right? If you see the returns of Bitcoin or Ethereum and compare it to an S&P 500 or a Nasdaq index, or gold for that matter, it's orders of magnitude higher.
Okay.
At the same time, the volatility index is also quite high.
Yeah, the risk.
Risk
Never
is
so.
also quite high, right? Like if you are, I mean, I wouldn't advise anybody to invest in cryptocurrencies if the investment horizon is like one month, because anything could happen.
Yeah.
It's a global asset traded 24/7. Israel bombs Iran, the asset will fall by 20%.
True.
Correct.
True.
That doesn't happen to Indian markets. They are relatively like shielded and isolated, and also governed quite well.
Okay.
But crypto markets, anybody can trade anywhere at any point of time. No holidays, no off hours. It's a 24/7 market. So it's wild, wild west.
Okay. Okay. So what is the minimum time duration for which you should keep, like, have the investment where you see a good return? When it
The
comes
time
in?
duration cannot be less than like 2 to 3 years.
Okay.
That's the minimum, I would say.
It's like same we have for mutual funds or stocks that we want to keep our money, then this is the return. And what is the return interest minimum, bare minimum, which you get when it comes to crypto? The
Uh,
benefits.
so the benefits are like, I think, I don't know the exact numbers. Bitcoin was zero in 2010. 2009 is when it launched.
Uh-huh.
And then today we are in 2025. Each Bitcoin is more than like 1.1 crore rupees.
Yeah.
So if you see the
Such a
returns,
big,
it's a
yeah.
huge return. At the same time, you compare it with like gold returns. They are like the returns are at least like 2 to 3 times higher on an annual basis.
Yes, yes, yes. And invest. So people who would have invested back then, they will be like very much happy about they've invested at the right place. But what is the condition now? Like if I invest now.
It's the same thing, right? Like I mean, it's about investing in Tesla now. Can it grow? It can grow, but can it also go down? It can go down.
Okay.
But the advantage of Bitcoin is it's not dependent on like a single company or a single individual, right? It's like I mean, a lot of people compare Bitcoin with gold,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yeah.
It's much easier than gold because you don't need to sort of hold physical gold, and it's universal. I mean, and it's also easy to store. All you need is like an internet connection and a wallet address.
Oh.
And no, even if you hold like or tons of gold, governments can seize them,
Yeah.
right? And if you want to go out of the country, you can't carry it with you, right?
Yes, yes.
But Bitcoin, all you don't even need to carry it. It's on internet. It's a real digital money.
Okay. And you can also do transfers,
Digital
right?
asset, I would say. Money is not the right thing.
Yeah, asset. And you can also do transfers.
It's so that's where transfer of these digital assets happen on blockchains.
Okay. And the person or wherever
Anybody
you are
can
in,
get it. Yeah.
they also should have a Bitcoin wallet, a crypto wallet. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Good information. Apart from this, okay, I would like to also go back to this thing. When you said that, when you thought of, when you were researching about it, you took a 3 to 4 months soul searching. So was it like you left the job and then you gave yourself the complete time to figure out and then you took the leap or along the job? Reason being, it makes a lot of difference. At least in my case, also, I made the same thing. Like, I took a 6 months break and then I decided I wanted to start something of my own. But how was it for your peers?
For me, I asked a simple question to myself, right? As a founder, if I don't have conviction to leave the job and start something on my own, I cannot have anybody else do that. Okay? Anybody else who is going to work for me do that. Right? So I had to leave the job and make up my mind.
Oh, so you took that leap. You made your mind. And if you can tell me more about in depth about the journey, the first initial 6 months are always like, I would say, it's like hurricane. There's a lot of uncertainties, finding your ways and figuring out the team. So how that journey was like, break points or breakthroughs, or you felt like you want to just give up. No, this is not of my. This is not something which I'm prepared for. Maybe.
I've had like tornadoes actually after I started, but the first 6 months was fairly smooth, I would say.
Yeah.
Because I was lucky enough to have co-founders who was dedicated enough, who was also passionate about the space. And we were also lucky to get like the first 2, 3 team members who were in the like very close friends of mine to actually contribute towards building of this. And fortunately, within the first 2 to 3 months, we were able to sort of secure funding from some of the top funds in crypto. Like we were able to secure funding from Coinbase, Pantera Capital, uh, True Ventures. They're some of the biggest venture capital funds in the world. So once we got the funding, then obviously we had the resources to go and hire externally and build the team.
Yeah.
And we were able to launch the product within a few months after we started the company. And we grew the assets to $1 billion within a couple of months.
That's great. So one thing, like, first of all, you started with Stader Labs is the name of the company. What is the gap it is trying to solve?
Yeah. So basically, Stader Labs is a liquid staking protocol. I'll simplify it for people.
Simplify. Yeah.
Think of it as a fixed deposit where people can earn returns on their asset. In this case, we have multiple crypto assets like Ethereum, Polygon, etc.
Yeah.
People can deposit that with us. They can earn returns, which are called staking rewards.
Okay.
When they do that, they get a new cryptocurrency asset.
Okay.
It's called a token.
Okay.
That's where the concept of liquid staking comes in.
Okay.
When you deposit something in your bank, it just lies with your bank. When you do a fixed deposit in your bank, it lies in your bank account only.
Yeah.
You cannot go to, say you have a bank account in HDFC.
Yeah.
And you have a 10 lakh rupee FD in HDFC bank, right? You cannot go to, say, let's say you want to take a loan against that.
Okay.
From ICICI Bank.
Okay.
ICICI Bank doesn't recognize this fixed deposit in HDFC Bank.
And I don't have an account.
You don't have an account in ICICI Bank, right? So you will have to go to ICICI Bank, and if you want to take a loan from ICICI Bank, because they are offering the cheapest interest rates, right?
Yeah.
You will have to put something else as collateral.
Okay.
Right? And then take a loan.
Yeah.
But if, say, HDFC Bank were to give you a guarantee receipt saying that, hey, Karishma has a 10 lakh rupee fixed deposit, I will guarantee that. Can you give her loan?
Yeah.
If you had that receipt, that is universally acceptable everywhere across the globe. Imagine the power of that.
Yeah. Then I don't have to give my collateral or something to
Anything,
get that
right?
particular. Yeah.
You will go to a bank, show this,
and
they'll
you'll get
keep that, and then you'll get a loan.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we do in cryptocurrencies.
Oh, wow. Okay. Got it.
So when somebody deposits their crypto assets with us, we give them a receipt token that is universally accepted anywhere on blockchains. So they can go to another company, deposit this, take a loan. They can exchange this for anything else. That means they can exit it whenever you want. And if you want to exit your FD today, HDFC Bank takes 2 to 3 days to settle it. Correct? You won't get the money immediately. And then typically there is a lock-in of 1 year or 2 years.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you will have to forego some of the interest that you earn. But you don't have to face that with us because we actually give a receipt that can be exchanged in the secondary markets.
Okay.
Or you can use that to do multiple other things.
Like what are the multiple other things?
Like taking loans against that.
Okay.
Trading that. Using that to kind of
the money which I have deposited in
the receipt that you get from us. If you deposit crypto assets with us, you get a receipt.
Okay. And
it's a token again.
Okay.
You can take that token, go to anybody else on the blockchain who are running their operations on the blockchain, and you can do these things. These things are trading that asset, depositing that asset, taking loans.
Okay.
And like basically you can also participate in perps, which is kind of like derivatives.
Yeah.
All of that.
Oh, cool. Okay. And how did you come up with this idea and you had that belief that this idea will go through? Yeah. So
staking is fundamental to blockchains.
Okay.
So that's how blockchains are running today. Think of it as a backbone of blockchains. Without that, it doesn't work.
Okay.
So we wanted to operate in a large space. For us, within crypto, staking was like a multi-billion-dollar opportunity.
Okay.
And we wanted to build a product that actually adds value to users' needs. So a lot of users in crypto, they want to sort of earn a lot more than traditional users. That's why they are in this space. They are risk takers. They want to earn more.
Yeah.
So we are enabling them to not only get price appreciation on their asset, they get it by merely holding it.
Yeah.
But if they deposit with us, they get like interest on top of it. And on top of the interest, they can also go use it on something else. So they can earn much higher yields.
And is this particular product, or maybe I would say different versions or different flavors available in the market, different people doing it?
Yeah, there are quite a few firms doing it because it's like I said, right, crypto is a global market.
Yeah.
There are like 10 other companies that are doing it.
Okay.
We do it.
What makes you different?
So we have the most utility across all the companies.
Okay.
And on top of that, we have like basically users can do that from their wallets on MetaMask, Ledger. These are like some of the largest distribution platforms in the blockchain or crypto space. So we are directly integrated with all of them. Users don't have to think; they can just like directly deposit with them.
Okay, got it. So when this particular prototype or whatever idea you created, and this was the plan, I'm sure networking is the major. Some business goes via bootstrapping and some goes via fundraising. And to get the investors having that trust in you that this idea will work out and they are ready for investment. How did you do the networking? Did you already had networks in crypto market, or because you were researching, right? And the moment you came out, how did that play out?
Yeah, and unfortunately, I didn't have any network in the crypto market. The only thing that I knew was like I could understand the fundamentals of how blockchains work and cryptocurrencies work. I had to rebuild the network from scratch.
How did you do that? Because this is something, what I tell you, being into the IT for a decade and then taking that leap, starting something of my own. This is what I've seen many founders go through is the problem of fundraising, I would say, and network building. You have a brilliant idea, but how do you pitch that idea? How do you make through globally?
So as a founder, right, like anybody who wants, I mean, if you're going and pitching to a VC, what will they look at, right? Like is the founder genuine and do they really have the perseverance to sort of live through the journey of multiple years, right?
Okay.
That's one. Thankfully, the VCs who looked at us, who talked to us, they saw that we were genuine and we had the perseverance. That's why they invested in us. And one has to be like really committed and passionate about that idea. The second one that made sense, that we were operating in a large market.
Yeah.
It's a multi-billion dollar market. So obviously from a market sizing perspective, it fit well into the VC's theme.
Got it. And how did you approach the VCs? Like, there's so many people who will be doing cold messages to them. How did you get in touch with certain VCs?
So initially through some friends network, etc.
Okay.
And then slowly once we started growing, our network also grew through the connections of our VC funds that invested with us.
Okay. Got it. Got it. And that's great. And how did it pick up the entire, when did you launch? It was in within 6 months, right?
Correct.
And the moment you launched, you started getting the,
We got a lot of users. We first launched on a very unpopular blockchain called Terra. We launched on that. We've acquired a lot of users even before we launched. And then once all of them were waiting for the solution that we had built. And we were able to sort of get $1 billion of deposits within a couple of months.
wow, that's a huge sum of money, I would say. So going this big, did you had this particular, what to say, calculations or in your mind in terms of it is going to boom so much and it has this much potential and it's gonna grow even further? Like, because uh, I believe in you get from universe based on how big you can think of. So was there your ideology of thinking like, big, going billions, going global, and this will definitely work through it? And were there um, areas where you felt that, this is not going to work out types? How did you manage during that time?
Got it. So obviously, I mean, we aspire big. Like I also, I mean, I'm also quite ambitious in terms of like what I want to achieve, what I want to aspire. But at the same time, I am a little bit of a pragmatist in
Okay.
terms of like taking little steps to sort of get to the intermediate goals and then getting to the next level goal, etc. Right. So that's how our journey has been, right? Like we starting out in India, firstly, the environment is not really conducive to crypto. And we had to go to the global VCs, compete with everybody else and sort of outcompete them in the market. We were reasonably successful in doing that. We are probably the second or third largest player in the world
Wow.
in this space. And on top of that, building and working with a global team was also pretty tough. And it's hard for us to sort of get everybody to sort of shift their base to India and work here, given the conditions in India are also not very conducive to crypto.
Yeah.
So it's been a hard journey for sure, and but that's the beauty of it, right? Like you will learn from the difficulties and mistakes that you go through or
Any
that you make.
mistakes which you would like to share in terms of this was the hardest learning, during the journey of growth?
Lots of mistakes. I mean, particular mistakes that I regret are hiring the wrong set of people who are not committed to the long term of the company. So we had to sort of part ways with them because they were like, we didn't see the right fit. And some of them are like my close friends who we brought on board with a different mindset, but then obviously things
Things
didn't
will
work
work
out.
out. Okay.
So ever since then, our hiring policies, our grooming policies in the company, we've adapted, changed them.
Okay. And what works best? The hiring policy. What is the three things you see?
Okay. There are not three things, there are multiple things that we see, but the top three things are one, the individual, or depends on the role as well. But mostly for leadership roles, what we see is one, the individual should be adaptable and he or she should be able to learn from the
Grasp on the
changing
job. Yeah.
circumstances, right?
Yeah.
They can't be like, hey, they can't be set in their own ways. The market is changing and evolving every month.
Uh-huh.
So they have to be adaptable. And the second one is they should be very proactive and have high ownership. That's the second thing that we look at. And obviously the third thing is like, is he or she high on problem solving skills? Because the market is changing, you will have new problems to solve every day, and you are dealing with people who are very, very different and diverse in terms of
Yeah,
geographies, etc. Right? So yeah, those are the things we look at.
great, great. And now you're also, it's been 2 years, I would say you're working, you're co-founded Kernel. What exactly that is, like
So
compared to Stader,
yeah,
I would say.
so it's a complementary product. We had to do it for legal reasons as a separate company.
Okay.
But I mean, Stader is in the liquid staking domain. Kernel operates in the restaking domain. Restaking is a concept which is a little more advanced in crypto, where the existing capital is used to kind of secure other networks. I don't want to go into the details because it's just very, very deep in the core cryptocurrency space.
So who are the users for this
So
Kernel?
the user segment is quite overlapping between Stader and Kernel. So if people want to take higher risk and earn higher returns, they come to Kernel. For people who are happy with the existing level of risk and not take a lot of returns, they are using Stader Labs.
Okay, that's a major difference. That's great to know. Okay, nice. So now what's next? What are you building or what's your vision?
So our vision is to kind of build the largest company in the crypto space, and then probably grow to. Today, we across the two companies we manage close to about a couple of $1 billion in assets. Our vision is to sort of grow that to more than $100 billion in assets.
Wow, 100 billion. That's great. And okay, my question is about this. Based on the vision which you have, being the first most when it comes to crypto, how do you strategize or plan completely? The yearly or these are your targets or goals, and you're able to meet those goals. Like, what is your strategy?
Yeah. So two things, right? One is what can we achieve with the existing set of products we have. That is the like monthly or a quarterly plan that we have, where we say, hey, these are the products we need to build, and this is the growth that we can get from these products. And you have a long range plan, which is, hey, we get into these new products that will drive like a delta growth on top of the growth that we could aspire, right? So we need to balance these two. And there are several new products that we are planning in the crypto space. So that's
That's
kind of
how.
that's
And
how.
how you're scaling? What is the strength of the company?
Right now, we across the two companies, we close to about 50 people.
Okay, 50 people. And it's been 2 years and 3 years
Yes.
since 50 people. Oh my God. How do you? I would say for me also, when I'm having 9 people, it becomes difficult to maintain the culture spreading. What is the mindset when you scale? You would have started with 3, 10, 50. What are the mindsets which you had to take when you have to scale more and more and make it grow big?
Yeah. So basically, the advantage of cryptocurrencies is it's not a very operationally heavy business. So we won't linearly scale by the amount of assets that we have.
Okay.
So we will probably, even if we have to manage like 10 or $50 billion in assets, we'll still be like 100 or 150 people at the max.
Okay.
So that's the beauty of the cryptocurrency space. It's a very high leverage space.
That's great. That's great. And there are different flavors of founders, I would say, founders and CEOs in terms of if you are critical thinker, you're good with scaling. What is that which you are, those are your key strengths?
I know. I mean, obviously, it's not a static thing, right? As a founder, if you don't evolve, you are dead.
Yeah.
So it's not a static thing. Like I would say, if you asked me this question like 2 years ago, I would say I'm probably like good at critical thinking and problem solving. Now I am reasonably good at like managing people, grooming, growing the leadership, etc.
Okay.
while also retaining the abilities of critical thinking and problem solving.
How do you manage the time? Because managing takes a lot of energy, I would say. How the entire the entire infra of the people should operate XYZ and what are the results it should shape and come up with you. So, how do you do the time management when it comes to giving your time to critical thinking and innovation? I would say you're planning for 2, 3 products, right? Which or maybe major more products when it comes to crypto, building more platforms and with the vision of earning billions. Yeah.
Yeah. So, interesting question, right? It's important. I mean, I carve out some space for thinking deeply about problems that we could be solving in this space. That time is important, and at the same time, reading reading every day about what other competition is doing, what other players in the space are doing, and then matching the patterns in my mind about how this space is evolving. I do these things on a consistent basis,
Which is very much needed.
which is what is needed for compounding. Right?
Yeah.
Like if you do this on a daily basis, over like multiple months, that's when some of the patterns start emerging in your mind.
Yeah. And that is something which is needed to survive, I would say, and to grow big. Learning so every day you spend some time in this. That's great. And yeah, I'm very much overwhelmed with the numbers, I would say. Okay. So I would like to know that, when you're working in any XYZ company, being in any XYZ role, which is a big, huge role, versus starting something of your own, what is the difference which you have? So,
You have a lot of ownership and responsibility and a lot of stress.
that is there, right? And the major stress is like, when someone is investing in you, taking a leap in you, and when you have to build and launch as well, that is the leap. There's a lot of stress which goes in money flow as well. Like, what is the major stress which founders go through, or which you felt like, is the major stress, be it critical thinking or growing out of a billions, or is it like handling stress and being very much productive? As in, what was yours?
For us, the big stress was obviously for us. The main thing is the cycles in crypto are very volatile and very frequent. So managing people's expectations during those cycles is an important thing because companies are nothing but people who are working for them, right? Like if you lose good people, then it's a big it's a big loss for us. So managing that is a big stress. The second one is I would say obviously I am obligated to sort of generate the right rate of returns for investors or funds that have invested with us. So there is always like you need to be thinking about what is the best way to sort of return capital for them and growing further, not stagnating. All of these create a lot more stress.
Okay, so when someone is investing, what do they see? Like, this is something bare minimum, or this is a risk. And these are the returns you get. Like, consider if I'm investing in mutual funds also or stocks. I know there is certain amount which I'll be getting, and there's a certain risk which I'm taking. So, what do you provide as a risk factor as well as a guarantee factor?
We don't. I mean, the customers who are depositing on our product, there the capital is very, very safe and secure. Their assets don't go anywhere. And we have extreme stringent security measures to kind of prevent any attacks or anything. People who are investing in our own token or in our company, it's like any equity. It's like token investment or equity investment, which has its own risk. It's like startup investing.
Got it, got it. Because meeting the expectations of the people during the volatile. So, has it happened that, it has gone completely unexpected? And how did you?
It's all part and parcel of the growth and starting up journey, right? Like multiple times the growth is not in line with the forecast. So obviously our market expectations are down. So all of these
Okay.
happen. Yes.
Was there any product like, or service which you launched and it didn't make
Yeah,
it?
of course, multiple products.
Okay. And before the start of Stader, was
Mhm.
it?
No, not before Stader.
Okay.
During the journey only, we as part of Stader, we launched several products that did not grow well or did not reach the level that we expected. So we shut them down. So
So when do you decide, like, is there any milestone or threshold in mind?
yeah,
which
if the
you-
product stops growing, then we decide to shut down.
Okay.
The product stops growing. We also hear from customers that this is not a great value to their lives. So that's when we decide.
Okay. Perfect. Got it. And um, something related to failure, this part. In your day-to-day life, like, what are the things, this underrated or, subtle practices which you do, which keeps you sane? Or because mine, it's all about the more you take stress, it is more about silent cancer and it blocks the creativity or I would say innovative thinking. Then how do you manage that, are there certain practices which you do for your in your personal life that uplifts your professional life as well?
Yeah, so I play with my son, spend time with my wife.
Okay.
Family is number one for me.
Uh-huh.
So they are my stress busters.
Okay.
I also managed to do like 3 or 4 yoga sessions a week.
Seriously,
That's my second stress buster.
yoga makes a lot of difference, right?
Yep.
Have you ever seen that, if you're not working out or if you're not doing these subtle exercises, it makes a difference in your work life?
100%.
Okay.
Like, I mean, people say that exercise has benefits in the long term, but I feel like it has immediate benefits.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you also try breathing exercises and all those
A
things,
little bit,
pranayam?
yes.
And have you seen the difference in that as well in your work?
Yeah, so like I have a yoga instructor who comes, so he does make me do some of those.
Okay. And it completely, I would say, relates to how your energy is when it comes to work.
Yes, definitely.
Perfect. Okay. Which is your go-to book? Like, the book which you will advise people if they are new to crypto, I would say, and they want to invest in crypto. What is the best way or the shortcut way where they can get certain information and plan to invest in the instead of?
There is no shortcut to investing. It's a very, very simple mantra. There's no shortcut to investing. There's no book. I mean, books are there for, firstly, cryptocurrency is a very, very nascent space, right? Like, I don't think there are enough number of books around that. The only shortcut is like doing a dollar cost averaging in Bitcoin and Ethereum, and just hoping that they grow sometime.
Yeah, because when we invest, when it comes to all the other traditional investing mechanisms which we already know about, we have people walking us through things like, this is a read mutual funds or like, if someone wants to really invest in crypto, is there any way out where people are there to help in terms of share the knowledge, or is it via YouTube we have to figure out everything?
Mostly, I figured it out with YouTube.
You want to start. So every person who is investing in crypto, it's all via their own knowledge gain.
Not
They have
really.
to.
There are some certain in like there are certain publications and media outlets that provide knowledge about the space, what's going on, and all of that.
Yeah.
And there are platforms that also provide investment advice in crypto for sure.
If I want to invest instead, I want to get a token of it. Who is the one who will be sharing with me the process and all those things? How I'm going to start
You don't need anything. You just need to go to
a
a
website.
CoinDCX website, create your own account, load your money, and buy. That's all.
Okay, and someone who is not at all considered, I can do that. But there are so many people who are earning like crazy, but they are into textile or they are into diamonds or they are into XYZ different things. And they don't know about technology, but they want to invest into crypto. How do we open the doors for those kind of people?
Just into seekers. That's why, I mean, especially in India, see, today, if you look at it, right, how do these people invest in stocks or bonds, right? It's mainly through financial advisors.
Advisors, yeah.
Right. Today, they are not allowed to sell cryptocurrency products because of regulatory environment. So the first thing that has to happen in India is like regulatory environment has to change. And these assets have to be recognized as like either commodities or financial assets. And then these advisors will be able to sort of provide services for these guys to invest in these products. Till then, it has to be like an individual journey.
Okay. But there's a huge scope of people opening certain financial firms which talks about crypto and investments in crypto like we have other firms. And is it only in India or elsewhere also, like, it's individual basis?
It's primarily in India because of the regulation.
But other
Here in
places there
US and
are.
all have several companies who are providing this.
Thank you so much, Amitej, for valuable insights. In fact, about crypto, about kernel, about Stader, and even I feel fascinated that, I would like to invest and get my money grow in a tremendous format instead of very, safe ways. And it was a great, great conversation. So thank you so much for your time. And people, I would really wish that, if you like to know more about crypto, about the entire Bitcoin market, then please like, share, subscribe, and do put your comments.